Hey everyone, let's talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of a spy movie. Buying a second citizenship. Or at the very least, buying the legal right to live in a whole other country. I'm not talking about moving for a job or marrying someone from another country. I'm talking about using a straightforward legal financial investment to get a residency permit or even a brand new passport. And before you click away thinking, this is only for billionaires on private yachts, stick with me. The range of options is wild. We're going to go from price of a supercar all the way down to price of a used sedan. This isn't a theoretical chat. These are real programs offered by real governments, and we're counting them down from the premium, high investment options to the most affordable, accessible ones you can actually picture yourself doing. A quick but super important disclaimer. I am not an immigration lawyer or a financial advisor. This is deeply complex stuff, and laws change literally every single day. What you're getting here is a fascinating overview, your starting point for a rabbit hole of research. Before you spend a single dollar, you must hire a qualified local immigration lawyer in the country you're targeting. Seriously, don't skip that step. All right, with that out of the way, let's start our countdown at number 10 with a country that's a total powerhouse and offers one of the most direct and fast tracks to a powerful passport. Number 10, Turkey. All right, let's just jump right into the deep end with Turkey. This is where buying citizenship feels almost literal. Turkey's program is famously direct, incredibly fast, and it gets you a seriously useful passport that might surprise you with its power. Here's the core deal. You need to invest a minimum of $400,000 in Turkish real estate. Now, a quick history lesson. It used to be just $250,000, but they raised the bar a few years back because the program was exploding in popularity. That's your first big lesson with these programs. They rarely get cheaper. They almost always get more expensive or more restrictive as more people find out about them. The good news is that the $400,000 doesn't have to be in one single luxury villa. You could, in theory, buy a couple of smaller apartments or a portfolio of properties to hit that magic number. But here's the catch everyone misses. You have to hold onto that property for at least 3 years after you get your citizenship. You can't just buy it, get your passport, and immediately flip it for a quick profit. This is a commitment, not a quick flip. So, what do you get for laying down that kind of cash? The number one benefit is speed. We're talking about receiving your Turkish citizenship and passport in as little as 3 to 4 months from the start of your application. That is insanely fast. Most immigration journeys are measured in years, not months. But it's not just about speed. The process itself is relatively straightforward. You'll work with a local lawyer who handles the purchase and the application, which includes a thorough background check to ensure you have a clean criminal record. And let's talk about the prize, the Turkish passport itself. Sure, the food is incredible and the history is mind-blowing, but the real value is in visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to over 110 countries. We're talking major hubs like Japan, Singapore, and South Korea. This isn't just a novelty document, it's a tool for serious global mobility. On a practical level, Turkey is this incredible bridge between Europe and Asia. It's a modern, developed nation with a cost of living that's significantly lower than most of Western Europe. You get everything from stunning Mediterranean coastlines and bustling cosmopolitan cities like Istanbul to a government that is actively rolling out the red carpet for foreign investors. Plus, a huge perk is that your spouse and your dependent children under 18 are typically included in the application, meaning your entire family gets a new passport. You're not just buying a document, you're buying a strategic foothold in a dynamic part of the world with a clear path that, while a significant investment, is one of the most efficient on the market. Just remember, you'll want to understand the tax implications, as becoming a citizen could make you liable for taxes on your worldwide income, so consulting a local expert is non-negotiable. 9. The Caribbean nations, like Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Dominica. When most people think of buying a passport, they're probably picturing a Caribbean island, and they're not wrong. Several Caribbean nations have perfected the art of the citizenship by investment program, offering what are arguably the fastest and most straightforward paths to a second passport on the planet. We're talking about countries like Grenada, St. Kitts, and Nevis, and Dominica. The details vary slightly between them, but the premise is the same. You have two main paths. The first is a straight donation to a national fund. This can start as low as $100,000 for a single applicant in some countries, but realistically, you're looking at around $150,000 and up. This money is a non-refundable gift to the country. The second path is a real estate investment, which usually starts around $200,000. You have to hold that investment for a set number of years, but you might eventually get some of your money back if you sell. The processing time is a huge selling point. You can go from application to citizen in as little as 2 to 6 months for some programs. The due diligence is notoriously strict. These islands don't want to hand passports to the wrong people. But if you have clean finances and a clean background, the process is remarkably efficient. So, what's the value? Why would you drop $200,000 on a Caribbean passport? 2 words: visa-free access. A passport from a country like Grenada gives you visa-free travel to the entire Schengen area in Europe, the United Kingdom, China, and even business-friendly access to the United States via an E2 investor treaty visa, which is a massive perk for entrepreneurs. It's the ultimate tool for the global business person who needs to move quickly and without hassle. You're buying convenience and a serious upgrade in your travel freedom. Number 8. Montenegro. All right, let's hop over to Europe, but not the part you're thinking of. Forget the crowded beaches of Spain or the canals of Amsterdam for a second. I want to talk about Montenegro. This small Balkan country on the Adriatic Sea is a hidden gem in the citizenship by investment world, but honestly, it probably won't stay a secret for much longer. Montenegro runs a limited-time citizenship by investment program that's specifically designed to attract foreign capital into targeted sectors. Now, this one is a bit more structured than others. Let's break down those numbers. The minimum real estate investment is 250,000 euros, but there's a huge catch. It absolutely must go into a government pre-approved real estate project, and these are almost always in the less developed northern and central regions. You can't just waltz into Budva or Kotor and buy a cute seaside apartment. This is the government's way of forcing development into areas that need it most. On top of that investment, you're on the hook for a mandatory, non-refundable donation. This is 100,000 euros, with an additional 50,000 euros if you're including dependent children. So, all in, you're starting at a minimum of 350,000 euros, and that's before any legal or processing fees. So, what does that hefty price tag get you? The process itself is relatively quick, with most applications processed in about 6 to 8 months. And what you receive is a Montenegrin passport, which is surprisingly robust. It grants you visa-free access to over 120 countries, including the entire Schengen zone, which is fantastic for travel throughout most of Europe. But let's be real, the current travel access isn't the main event here. The real reason savvy investors are looking so hard at Montenegro is its active and advanced negotiations to join the European Union. The country is widely considered the next in line for membership. You're essentially making a strategic bet. You're buying a Montenegrin passport today at a premium price, with the strong expectation that it will automatically convert into a full EU passport tomorrow. You're getting in at the ground floor. The moment Montenegro joins the EU, the value of that passport will skyrocket overnight, and the investment requirement would likely become much higher, or the program would shut down entirely. It's a forward-looking move. You also have to undergo strict due diligence, and you can include your spouse, dependent children, and even dependent children up to 29 years old if they are enrolled in university. You're not just buying a passport for what it is today, you're investing in what it's almost guaranteed to become, a key to the entire European Union. Number 7. Greece. Now, let's talk about a classic European dream destination, Greece. We all know the postcard images of whitewashed villages and turquoise water, but it also runs one of the most sought-after golden visa programs on the planet. Here's the crucial thing to understand up front. The Greek program is not a direct path to citizenship. It's a residency permit. But don't underestimate it. By making a qualifying real estate investment, you secure a 5-year renewable residence permit for yourself, your spouse, and your children. And this is where you need to pay close attention. Due to overwhelming demand that was driving up local housing costs, Greece introduced a brutal two-tier system. If you want to buy in the most popular areas, including Athens, Thessaloniki, Mykonos, Santorini, and several islands, the minimum investment is now a steep 500,000 euros. However, the original 250,000 euros threshold still applies in countless other stunning and authentic parts of the country. This makes doing your homework on location absolutely essential. The single biggest perk? This golden visa has arguably the most flexible stay requirement in Europe. You are not required to live in Greece to maintain the visa. You can simply hold the permit and enjoy the right to live, work, and travel visa-free throughout the entire 27-country Schengen area. It's a backdoor pass to Europe for you and your family. The path to full citizenship and an EU passport is a longer game. After legally maintaining your residency for 7 years, you can apply for naturalization. This is where the real integration begins, as you'll need to pass a Greek language test and a cultural/history exam. It's also wise to consider tax implications, as becoming a tax resident could affect your global income. Ultimately, you're investing in a fantastic European lifestyle today, with a valuable option for a powerful EU passport tomorrow. Just be prepared for a competitive property market and ensure you work with a local expert to navigate the new rules. Number 6. Portugal. If Greece is the timeless classic, Portugal has been the trendy, sophisticated cousin for the last decade. Its golden visa program was the absolute darling of the investment migration world, but it's gone through a seismic shakeup that you need to understand. Let's be clear about what's over. For years, the dream was to get a residency permit by investing 280,000 euros in a fixer-upper in the countryside or 500,000 euros in a standard property. That door has officially slammed shut. To address a severe housing crisis for locals, the Portuguese government has completely eliminated real estate as a qualifying investment for new golden visa applications. You can no longer get the visa by simply buying a house or apartment. So, is Portugal completely off the list? Not quite, but the game has changed dramatically. The golden visa program itself still exists. It has just pivoted to other investment avenues. The most common route now is transferring 500,000 euros into a qualified Portuguese investment fund. These are typically venture capital or private equity funds focused on Portuguese companies. Other options include creating at least 10 jobs locally, or transferring 250,000 euros to support artistic production or national heritage. Why would you still jump through these hoops? 2 words: the endpoint. The path to citizenship remains one of the most attractive in Europe. After just 5 years of maintaining your investment, you can apply for a Portuguese and therefore EU passport. The magic here is the incredibly low physical presence requirement. You only need to be in Portugal for an average of 7 days per year during that 5-year period. It's the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it European residency. While the famous non-habitual resident tax program is being phased out, Portugal still offers a fantastic quality of life, a friendly welcome, and that coveted EU passport. You're investing in a long-term, stable plan for European citizenship, but now it requires a more sophisticated, financial-focused strategy. Just remember, this route demands serious due diligence on the funds you choose, making a good local lawyer more essential than ever. Number 5. The Dominican Republic. Let's shift gears and head back to the Caribbean, but this time to a country that offers a much more affordable and flexible entry point: the Dominican Republic. Everyone knows the DR for its pristine beaches and all-inclusive resorts in Punta Cana. But step outside the tourist bubble and you'll discover a nation with a very attractive real estate market and one of the most straightforward paths to citizenship in the hemisphere. The core deal is this: invest a minimum of $50,000 in Dominican real estate, and you become eligible for residency. Here's a pro tip most people miss: that $50,000 doesn't have to be tied up in one single property. You could theoretically buy a few small plots of land, or even combine a modest property with a business investment to meet the threshold. This flexibility is a massive advantage for building a diversified portfolio. The process itself is relatively streamlined, though it requires navigating some Spanish paperwork, getting a local tax ID, and passing a medical check. You'll first secure temporary residency, which is your stepping stone. Once that residency is granted, the clock starts ticking on one of the fastest citizenship timelines you'll find anywhere. After just 2 years, you can apply for full Dominican citizenship and passport. So, what does that passport deliver? Visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to over 60 countries, including much of Latin America and the crucial Caribbean community. It's a powerful tool for regional business and travel. The lifestyle is the other half of the appeal. Think colonial architecture in the historic Zona Colonial of Santo Domingo, vibrant merengue music, and a cost of living that's a fraction of what you'd pay back home. Best of all, the DR officially allows dual citizenship, so you don't have to give up your original passport. You're investing in a quick, affordable backdoor to a second nationality with serious regional benefits. Number 4. Brazil. If you're thinking on a bigger scale, how about a whole continent? Welcome to Brazil. This is a country of almost continental proportions, and that translates into opportunities and land on a scale that's hard to find anywhere else. Brazil's investor visa program, known as the VIP, requires a minimum investment of approximately $50,000 converted to Brazilian reais. And yes, this capital can absolutely be directed into real estate, which is a major draw. You can find rural and agricultural land for astonishingly low prices, sometimes as little as $500 an acre, meaning you could acquire a truly massive tract for a relatively modest sum. However, a critical point to remember is that the visa qualification is based on the monetary value of the investment, not the physical size of the land. The process isn't as simple as just buying property, though. The investment must be tied to a productive business purpose. You typically need to create a Brazilian company, develop a business plan, and demonstrate that your venture will generate jobs for Brazilian citizens. You'll first receive a temporary residency visa, which is valid for several years and can be renewed. After the investment is fully maintained and the business is operational, you can then apply to convert your status to permanent residency. This is where the payoff gets exciting. The path from permanent residency to citizenship is one of the fastest in South America. After just 4 uninterrupted years of holding that permanent status, you become eligible to apply for naturalization. A Brazilian passport is a powerful asset in this part of the world. It grants you the right to live and work anywhere in the Mercosur trade bloc, which includes major economies like Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. That's access to a massive regional market. The lifestyle, of course, is legendary. Whether you're drawn to the electric energy of Rio de Janeiro, the business powerhouse of Sao Paulo, the vast wilderness of the Amazon, or the stunning Atlantic coast, Brazil offers a dizzying array of choices. You're not just buying a path to a passport, you're acquiring a key to one of the world's most dynamic and culturally rich nations. Just be prepared for a process that is heavier on bureaucracy and requires a solid local legal team to navigate successfully. Number 3. Colombia. Let's talk about a country that has genuinely rewritten its own story. Colombia has undergone one of the most dramatic transformations on the global stage. It's shed its old reputation and emerged as a vibrant, safe, and economically rising star in South America. Its investment visa is a powerful way to get in on the action while the getting is good. The primary requirement for a Colombian investor visa is demonstrating an investment of approximately 100 times the Colombian minimum wage, which currently translates to about $130,000. Now, here's the flexible part. This isn't a simple purchase. The capital must be invested in a commercial project or a registered Colombian company. This can absolutely be a mix of real estate and business investment. You could buy a nice apartment in a city like Medellin for short-term rentals, invest in a coffee farm, or partner in a local enterprise to meet the threshold. The key is that the money is put to work in the local economy, not just parked. The process grants you a temporary residency visa first, typically valid for 3 years. You'll need to provide a clean criminal record from your home country and pass a background check. After successfully maintaining your investment and status, you can then apply for permanent residency. The clock for citizenship starts after you receive your permanent resident card. You must hold it for 5 continuous years before you can apply for naturalization. This final step requires demonstrating Spanish proficiency and passing a civics test on Colombian history and geography. But here's the real appeal. During those 5 years, you get to enjoy what expats call eternal spring in cities like Medellin and Bogota, a world-class coffee culture and a cost of living that stretches your budget incredibly far. A Colombian passport provides excellent access throughout the Americas and is a symbol of the country's rising global standing. With a top-tier healthcare system, a growing digital nomad community, and the fact that Colombia recognizes dual citizenship, you're not just getting a residency permit. You're making a strategic, future-facing bet on a nation that is wide open for opportunity. Number 2. Paraguay. Now we're diving into the truly affordable tier. If you're searching for the most budget-friendly, stable path to a second citizenship on the planet, Paraguay is almost impossible to beat. Let's be crystal clear from the start. This isn't a formal citizenship by investment program. In many ways, it's better because the financial barrier is shockingly low. The entire process hinges on first obtaining permanent residency. The bar for this is famously low. The most common and accepted method is to demonstrate economic solvency by depositing approximately $5,000 into a Paraguayan bank account. You'll also need to provide a clean criminal background check from your home country, and that's essentially the core of the financial requirement. It's a famously straightforward process, though it requires a trip to Paraguay and navigating some Spanish-language bureaucracy, making a local facilitator or lawyer incredibly helpful. You'll first receive a temporary residency card, which is converted to permanent residency after a couple of years. Once you have that permanent status, the clock starts ticking. After just 3 years, you become eligible to apply for citizenship. Critically, there are no formal language tests or complex cultural integration exams. The process is judicial, meaning a judge reviews your application and may conduct a brief interview to confirm your ties to the country. It's not 100% automatic, but it's known for being respectful and straightforward for those who have legitimately maintained their residency. The lifestyle in Paraguay is slow and centered around vast, open spaces. The capital, Asunción, offers modern amenities with a relaxed, small-town feel. The real estate market is a huge part of the appeal. You can still buy productive agricultural land for just a few $100s per hectare. Furthermore, Paraguay is a territorial tax haven, meaning it doesn't tax income earned outside the country. With a Paraguayan passport, you gain visa-free access to much of South America, including Mercosur membership benefits, and the country fully recognizes dual citizenship. You're not just buying a path to a passport, you're acquiring a strategic, low-cost foothold in a stable South American nation with significant financial advantages. Number 1. The Philippines. And we've made it to number 1, the most accessible and affordable option on our entire list. But we have to start with a massive, non-negotiable caveat. The Philippines is not selling citizenship. What it's offering, through its special resident retirees visa, is the next best thing. Permanent, hassle-free residency in a tropical paradise for a price that will genuinely shock you. Let's get the big restriction out of the way. Under Philippine law, foreigners cannot directly own land. You can, however, fully own condominiums and the buildings themselves. For land, you enter into long-term lease agreements that can last for 50 years and are often renewable. Now, onto the famous SRRV. This isn't a traditional investment, it's a refundable deposit. The amount varies by age and circumstance. If you're between 35 and 49, you'll need to deposit $50,000. If you're 50 or older and can show a pension, it drops to a very accessible $20,000. There's even a $10,000 option for former Filipino citizens. This money stays in a Philippine bank in your name. It's frozen, but returned in full when you permanently leave the program. What does this deposit actually buy you? It grants a permanent resident ID card that acts as a multiple entry visa for life, allowing you to come and go from the Philippines as you please. While it doesn't permit you to take local employment, it's perfect for retirees, remote workers, or anyone living on passive income. The immediate lifestyle upgrade is the real value proposition. You gain access to a nation of over 7,000 islands, with a cost of living that allows for a comfortable, even luxurious lifestyle on a modest budget. With English as an official language, integration is remarkably easy. The program also includes perks like tax-free importation of household goods and a potential waiver on customs duties for one vehicle. You're not solving the second passport problem, but you are providing an elegant, affordable, and permanent solution to the "where will I live well for less" problem. It's the ultimate lifestyle hack. So there you have it, a full tour from premium passports to the most affordable escapes out there. If this video opened your eyes to what's possible, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like to help others discover it too. Think of that one friend dreaming of a life abroad and share this with them. It might just be the nudge they need. And most importantly, if you want to keep unlocking these kinds of life-changing secrets, make sure to subscribe to the channel Travel Planner and tap that bell so you never miss what we uncover next. The world is full of doors. We're just here to help you find the keys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.